Today on Panther TV, just what does it take to be a good college candidate? We get the inside scoop.
It was a mega day at the Mega Bowl as the unified basketball team took on North.
And we'll tell you how this local trolley ended up in a major motion picture. Panther TV starts now.
Good morning, Plymouth South. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Dylan Long.
And I'm Jacob Olson. Creating a product and owning your own business is something many people dream of.
Fifth graders in Plymouth got the chance to do just that recently.
Here's Panther TV's Jenny Jodas with more.
Fifth grade students from all across Plymouth channeled their inner entrepreneur at the second annual Children's Business Fair. After weeks of anticipation, hundreds of students showed up at Plymouth South High School with their families for the big night, their chance to sell their products and show off the brand they've spent weeks creating.
It was a long process. The students had to commit to doing the event, and they had to create a business plan, and they had to come up with a company name, come up with what their price range was going to be, and what their goods or services were going to be.
The students met with advisors and local business owners to get advice and to learn about the importance of creativity.
I just love the point that I get to be a host of something and make people happy with my treats.
That you get to see the customers and experience what it would be in a real bakery, and that's fun for me.
Getting to feel like I'm doing something and I'm making people happy.
If you could see what is out there, it's incredible, and I think it sparks something in kids. Sometimes kids don't really have anything that really interests them, and then all of a sudden they find something that works for them, that makes them feel good, and it's really impressive what kids have come up with.
Products included everything from food for humans and pets to jewelry, candles, and soaps.
So me and my friend Maeve are doing a mini cafe where we sell mini bakery foods.
So we're selling lip scrub, body scrub, and hand scrubs.
I'm making muffins.
My brand is Whoopie Pies, and they're for $1.
My brand is Scrubs and Love. It's sugar scrubs and bracelets.
Indian Brook principal Mrs. Manfredi says this is an all-around great learning experience for the kids.
I think it's just that the feeling they get from creating something and then having people enjoy it and purchase it. And they'll make a little money too.
And the kids enjoyed their night too.
My favorite part is getting to make the products.
My favorite part was selling the products and interacting with the customers.
Probably setting up and getting to set up all the decorations and tape our signs.
To see my friends and how they walked with me.
Everyone had so much fun showcasing these young salesmen and women's products. Make sure to look out for next year's Children's Business Fair to support these talented and dedicated students. Reporting for Panther TV, I'm Jenny Jodas.
Many students want to be the perfect applicant for colleges, but what are they looking for? Panther TV's Bethy Lombardo finds out what it takes to make your application stand out.
Applying to college is a major stress at the beginning of senior year, but according to admissions counselors, there are many things you can do to up your resume. From freshman year to senior year, students are always looking for ways to impress colleges, but some do not realize how easy it is to look good on applications.
I think nowadays, everyone's always trying to do a little bit of everything. And one of the things that we at Union College focus on, and I think is a great thing for any college applicant to think about, is kind of this T methodology, meaning you want to have a wide breadth of knowledge, but then also be able to get into the nitty-gritty of certain things that are really important to you.
Having a good GPA and being involved in many extracurriculars will only help, but that is not all that the admissions counselors are looking for.
What I'm looking for is more leadership and interest in stuff that's, interesting to the student. As long as they're engaging themselves, then that's a great thing. It doesn't matter what it is.
I think it's more so showing that you have the ability, if you are an athlete, to not just do sports, but to also keep your grades up, that you're also involved in other components, because it can be very easy when you're young to focus in on this sport is my identity. and then forget about everything else. And so remembering that you are a whole, complete person and being able to really just showcase that.
Another major stressor for college applicants is the college essay. Many students have a hard time trying to figure out what the colleges want from them and overlook the most important detail, being themselves.
Anything that they think is important for a admissions counselor or a group of counselors who are reviewing for them to know. You know, like if maybe their grades dipped during COVID or something like that, and like they didn't jive with the hybrid learning model. If they write about that in their essay and then what they're doing to get themselves back to a place where they feel comfortable as a student again, that's a great essay.
The personal essay is pretty important for us because we think that is one of the ways that a student can show us who they are again in a few words, right? Because we don't get to meet them beforehand, so this is their one chance to really tell us about them.
Despite only applying to college senior year, there are things that freshmen and sophomores can do to help prepare for the applications.
Yeah, GPAs. I know before I said the GPA isn't the most important thing, but GPA can equal a lot of money in scholarships. So there's that, and then just get outside the classroom and volunteer.
Research, look ahead. The year is gonna go by fast. Be prepared, take notes, see what you like to do, try things out, and best of luck.
There are also some students that do not want to go to college and rather enter the military or workforce.
First and foremost, the thing that we initially look at for the Marine Corps is making sure that each individual, each applicant has some of our core values, which are honor, courage, and commitment. Those are things that the Marine Corps holds dearly to each and every Marine, and it's the things that we look for initially when we sit down and talk with each and every applicant.
Whether it's the military, the workforce, or going to college, having a solid resume that shows your dedication and determination will only benefit you in the future. Reporting for Panther TV, I'm Bethy Lombardo.
Have you noticed people stopping in a mysterious room near the main lobby during lunches? Or are you wondering where those kids in your class got the hot chocolate or tea? Here's Panther TV's Jill Neal with the answer to those questions.
Previously a bank, this room next to the cafeteria is now known as a wellness room, used by students and staff for a variety of reasons. Inspired by an idea to bring awareness to health and wellness to the school, the wellness room was created to be a place where students and staff can go to relax.
Mrs. Giampetro and I were planning Wellness Week last year, and we were going to have some meditation cushions out in the atrium. And then I was like, no, those are going to get kicked around. And I figured out that we had this unused space right next door. And so that's how it all came about.
After the initial success during Wellness Week last year, Ms. Fisher and Mrs. G decided to make this a permanent space to brighten people's days.
It's used for a variety of things by different people. Some people come in just to get snacks or tea or now even hot chocolate. But some kids come in for fidgets and things to help them get through the day. And that's what it's all about, giving people a lift and helping them get through their days.
Right now, the wellness room is open during lunch periods on B1 days. Students can stop in on their way to or from lunch or get a pass from Ms. Fisher to hang out during their lunch. Students who visit have some specific things that they like about the wellness room.
I'd say the hot chocolate and the tea.
They got Welch's sometimes. Sometimes they'll have gummies.
I like the wellness room because there's always snacks in there, and I get up so late in the morning and I'll always forget snacks. I'll forget a lunch. Sometimes I'll forget a water, and they have all that stuff in there.
Well, there you have it. The wellness room is a beneficial part of our school, and we are so lucky to have it. Reporting for Panther TV, I'm Jill Neal.
You may have seen some new faces and heard some new accents in the halls of Plymouth South recently.
Although they were only here for a week, these exchange students from the United Kingdom have an uplifting message to share. Here's Panther TV's Alex Sarides with more.
The British are coming, but this time it isn't anything like your history textbooks. After traveling 3,000 miles from our sister city of Plymouth, England, they're here to sing.
So Legacy Choir is a choir in Plymouth, and we sing, and now we've gone more towards a cappella, and we're coming to Plymouth, Massachusetts as part of the Mayflower 400 project to sing in the US and also learn a bit more about a cappella, because in the UK a cappella singing isn't really a big thing.
And Legacy Choir is essentially just a mixture of people from the secondary schools across Plymouth who have just come together to have a good time, sing, and we do quite a lot of a mixture of music, so it's interesting.
So I've been part of Legacy Choir for, I think it's been about 4 or 5 years now, but I've been singing since I was about 6 years old. In Legs, I'm the youngest, and then the oldest in Legs is Abby, who's 20, which is quite impressive.
While they were here, the members of Legacy Choir made it their mission to spread their music throughout the community, with performances throughout the week they spent in Plymouth. For some of the older students, this exchange program has been done in the past. However, For many, this has been their first time in the U.S., and there are a lot of differences to adjust to.
So I've never been to the US before, but one of the reasons for that is that I've never actually been on a plane before. I don't really live like central Plymouth, UK. I live sort of up on the mountains. It's rainy often.
I came on the trip in 2017 maybe. I stayed with a guy called Seeger, who was in the marching band. It was really fun.
I've never been to the US before. This is my first time. The biggest difference is that here in the US, everything is bigger than the UK, so the portion sizes are like double the size. The school, Plymouth South, is massive and has a lot more facilities, and like the shops are a lot bigger as well.
Younger people don't really drive in the UK, it's like 18 plus, whereas here you have like teenagers driving around, which is really weird to me.
While the trip is full of hard work and practicing, there was still plenty of time for fun in the schedule.
My favourite thing we've done so far is going to Target, because we don't have that in the UK.
Well, I'm looking forward to going to Salem. That looks like it's going to be really fun.
I mean, we went to the Haunted Mansion, I think. That was really fun. I mean, personally, I wasn't really that scared, but it was really enjoyable. I really liked it.
We went out and bought loads of snacks the other day, so I'm excited to try them.
Though their stay was short, the international connections and friendships made from traveling to the U.S. will last them a lifetime. Reporting for Panther TV, I'm Alex Sarides.
Sounds like it was a trip for the visitors and their hosts. Now it's time for some sports.
Let's toss it over to Cassius Johnson.
Thanks, guys. Today in sports, we take you inside the Mega Bowl and introduce you to some of the players on the Unified basketball team.
Hello everybody, my name is John Mason Young, otherwise I am also known as Captain Storm of the Unified basketball team. This is the first time I've ever been a captain of a team before, and I have leadership experience. Yes, I do.
I am Nick Hussey. I am the captain of the Unified basketball team.
I'm John Boucher, aka Lamborghini.
On Tuesday, November 1st, these seniors led Plymouth South Unified basketball team to victory as they took on their crosstown rivals, Plymouth North. Students and staff filled the gym showing support for both teams. These players love basketball and everything they get out of being on the team.
My favorite part about basketball is being with my teammates and hanging out with my friends mainly, and seeing everyone come to Mega Bowl.
The shooting. The scoring. And the Star Spangled Banner.
Yep, definitely the scoring.
Well, I get to hang out with my friends, get to have some fun. That's what basketball is all about.
For all, it was a fun day, and the game was also featured on Channel 5 Sports.
They asked me questions about basketball, like say, how long have you been on there, and like, do you like it so far? And I was like, it's my first time on national TV, not like Panther TV, on national TV, and I'm happy about it. Like, if you see me on Channel 5, just remember, I'm famous now.
After a lifetime playing contact sports, then being sidelined by multiple injuries, one Plymouth South senior has found a new passion. Here's Declan Davis with the story.
As athletes, being told that playing the sport you love may no longer be an option due to injury is tough to hear. But Sam Bailey, hearing that news, found a new form of competition.
For years, basketball and football were a major part of Sam Bailey's life. But after a broken leg sophomore year and a lingering shoulder injury, contact sports were something Sam had to reconsider.
See, the first one was I broke my leg. I did it at a friend's house playing basketball. My second one, I played in scrimmage versus Carver, and I dislocated my shoulder, of course, and and then ever since then I haven't been able to keep my shoulder in place.
Doctors told him he had to choose between a major surgery or give up contact sports altogether. Sam chose the latter.
Definitely stunk because I was out and I couldn't play any contact sports. It's definitely something that I didn't wish for.
But now he has found a new sport he loves. At least once a week, Sam visits Kinston's Alley Cat Lanes to work on his bowling game.
But honestly, started last winter. I was out at pins with my friends, and then I don't know why, but ever since then, just really sparked my interest.
Since that fateful day, Sam has dedicated himself to becoming the best bowler he could be.
I've just been going bowling like every week. Every single week, I've just been trying to improve my average between 3 games. And every week that I've gone, it's always gone up. So, but I'm definitely gonna try and get myself into a tournament sooner or later.
While he had aspirations of playing college football when he was younger, he's found a new passion to take that place.
It feels nice bowling. It definitely fills that void. I'm honestly trying to like play against other people, of course, because that helps me improve and that helps the other person improve. And I'm definitely trying to become a pro bowler, per se. Yeah.
While Sam's current game averages in the low 200s, he's pushing himself to get 300. Reporting for Panther TV, I'm Declan Davis.
For many, staying fit can be a lifelong individual goal, but for one Plymouth South grad, it's becoming something he's decided to share with the world. Here's Nathaniel Wolfgang with the story.
James Donlan began lifting weights his freshman year of high school with a strength and conditioning coach. But in the fall of 2019, when he went off to college, he began to slip and needed to get back on track. As a dedicated high school athlete, James Donlan played soccer and worked out all the time. But after leaving Plymouth South in his high school playing career, that began to change.
And then when I got into college, I slowed down with the lifting and exercising. I wasn't really doing it as much because there wasn't anybody pressuring me, forcing me to do it.
Throughout his younger years, James relied on someone else to hold him accountable. But after being left for dry at college, he realized he needed to take matters into his own hands.
I don't really know when it was, but there was one day where I just kind of decided like I needed to make a change. And so I started watching more educational content about fitness and self-improvement. And I started reading more books and I started getting myself to go to the gym every day. It was last fall that I kind of decided I was going to push myself to do things and not rely on other people to tell me to do things.
After finding motivational content on social media, James realized he could hold himself accountable while also motivating others if he started posting his own fitness content.
And I started seeing on my Instagram feed and my TikTok feed people doing like handstands and handstand push-ups and these other calisthenics moves. And I was like, that's something that I could get good at, and it's also fitness related. And there was another girl who went to the gym who had an Instagram fitness account, and I saw her there. I just started thinking about it, and I was like, I'm doing all this stuff. I put a lot of effort into it. Why not record it and put it for other people to see? Maybe somebody will see it and it will motivate them to do something or make a change, or maybe someone will see it and they'll be like, oh, I haven't thought about it that way.
While James now posts almost daily, one thing important to him is to show his followers the times he does fail, along with his successes, because he believes no one is perfect, and it's not healthy to try to live up to an unrealistic standard.
They look at people from the outside and then they think that they must be all set on the inside. And it's just not true at all. Like, somebody can be like the most fit person of all time, or they can be the richest person of all time, and on the inside they can be crumbling and like one step from some place they don't want to be. So
if you're looking for some motivation to get started on your own fitness journey, you can follow James on Instagram and TikTok at JMDonlanFitness. Reporting for Panther TV, I'm Nathaniel Wolfgang.
Football is a fall tradition all over America, and for one night each fall, the girls of Plymouth South get to take the field. Here's my teammate Jamie Andrews with more.
Thanks, Cash. Each year, the freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior classes field teams for the Powder Puff. This year, we're taking you along the sidelines for the sights and sounds of the competition.
Yeah!
He's got some room on the outside. He's got wheel. Keep going wide. Keep going fast. No! Number one again.
Well, guys, the problem is now the pressure's on.
Dude, what up?
And the practice has paid off very well.
The junior class took home the championship this year. Reporting for Panther TV, I'm Jamie Andrews.
That was definitely a fun night for all. And don't forget, it is Spirit Week, so be sure to show your Panther spirit as we head toward the big football game against North. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Cash. Now, onto arts and entertainment. A hit movie this fall has a Plymouth South connection.
Alec Law finds out how a local trolley became Disney's property.
Disney's recent release of Hocus Pocus 2 has many fans excited, but what many don't know is there's a special piece of Plymouth in the film. Automotive instructor Mr. Gellar was contacted by a Disney representative asking to buy his trolley so that they could use it in Hocus Pocus 2.
So I received a phone call from one of the filming members of the crew stating that they worked for Disney and they were interested in the trolley, and I really didn't understand what the call was about initially. And I actually hung up on them the first time. And then I received a second call, and the person said to me, look, I'm coming out to visit you, and I'd like to set up a time, make an appointment, and please don't hang up.
Mr. Gellar was told that a cast member took a picture of the trolley and told the producers that they needed it in the movie, and so Disney jumped at the chance.
It was a little strange. They arrived, they jumped out of the car with tape measures and started talking about all the alterations, and I didn't quite understand. First of all, we hadn't discussed anything about a lease option, a purchase option, rental agreement, anything, and they're talking about pulling the sides off it, changing color, and pulling seats out, and making alterations that I just wasn't sure I was prepared for.
Mr. Gellar had talked to other potential buyers about selling the trolley before Disney contacted him. So he decided to loop them in so everybody got a fair deal.
That's pretty incredible, starting with the fact that one of the cast members took actual photos on their cell phone in my yard on a Sunday afternoon, which they showed to me. I thought was interesting.
At first, Mr. Gellar was regretting selling the trolley, but after taking a look back at all the maintenance issues, he's glad to see that piece of Plymouth made its way into something as big as a Disney film. Reporting for Panther TV, I'm Alec Law.
A group of Plymouth student musicians is taking their work to the next level.
Here's Kaylee Elgar with more on how this group is making a name for themselves around the South Shore.
After finding an individual love for music in high school, 5 local musicians found each other by chance. And now they're on their way to making their first album as the band Stringhead. From the Sea Note and Hull to locations in their hometown of Plymouth, Stringhead is becoming known by music lovers on the South Shore. Formed after an online meeting between students from Plymouth North and Plymouth South, the band has recently taken off.
We've gotten decently far to the point where we get a gig at least once a month, where like a decent amount of people will show up. We haven't gotten too big since we don't have an album out yet. People don't know where to find us other than Bandcamp, but we're taking the next step soon.
The alternative rock band is made up of Plymouth South students drummer Ryan Francis and bassist Josh Carmichael, along with 3 students from North.
Jack messaged me on Instagram maybe like last April or May. It was during like the coffee house where everything was outside. He asked me if I played drums because his other drummer actually moved away, and I said yes.
I met Jack through the internet. He was reading some book by Friedrich Engels, and I was really into philosophy, political philosophy at the time. And I was wondering what book it was, and then we started talking about philosophy and music. And one of the most important things that we got out of that conversation was, do you want to join my band?
While most of the songs are written by Plymouth North junior Jack Fox, the band practices and performs as a team and is looking forward to releasing its first album soon. They say while success is fun, they're not just here for the fame or the status of being a band.
Make sure you're there for the music. Make sure that you're not there just to be cool. Make sure you're actually committed and know how to play your instrument. Don't just be in a band. If you do commit, make sure you write good music. Make sure you maybe do a cover once in a while. And then, have a good time. Make sure you guys are friends. Make sure you guys bond a lot and have a good time.
Form a band not solely for the band aspect of it. There's so many more things that you can get out of being a band than just the fact of you saying that you're in a band.
While they're dedicated to the band now, both Josh and Ryan know that staying together after high school may be a challenge. But they're wishing for the best and are enjoying the time that they have together with their friends. Reporting for Panther TV, I'm Kaylee Elgar.
That's our time for today. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you next time. Have a great week, South. Boom.
But what just what? Blah, blah. But what?
Problem is here.
Okay.
Tighten it.
Okay.
You got.
Thanks, Mr. Smith. I appreciate it.
Got your little crew right there.